Hello, monk style surviving. As you can see, the shelter's still up, so nice to be back with you guys again. Just a couple of minutes today. Just wanted to be able to share like coffee with you. And I actually made some notes, so maybe I don't, lose track to what I want to be able to say as well, right? So, but there's a lot of things going on right now, obviously, but a lot of people are right now thinking that unemployment in North America might be like just a isolated thing, but it's not. The global shutdown is there. There's definitely an economic reset that's going to be happening. So it's hard to to get on the one topic and not tangent off, because they've presented us with so much stuff already, right? So here's what's going on. First thing off, they've nationalized everything. They're trying to anyway. Whether you're talking about your airlines, because if you notice, no one's allowed to travel yet outside their own country, when some countries are even banning other countries from coming in. So these are unusual times for that. So nationalizing the food system, and so now they're gonna control the way you eat, what's gonna be delivered in your grocery shop. So you pretty much, there's a lot of things that we can't control. There's also the fact that people say, well, I'm not gonna be wearing a mask and stuff like that, but what if they all of a sudden all the stores that you need to go into tells you to? Okay, so they didn't even have to make you comply. They made the places you need to go to comply. So now we're all forced to wear a mask, or even go buy just a simple coffee, maybe. Okay, maybe make your own coffee or something, right? So at the end of the day, I got one question. Does anyone remember the last time a very well armed country turned socialist? Because that's really what's happening in the United States. It's a very socialistic feeling that's happening right now, the way they're imposing a few things, right? So if anyone remembers that, then I'm in Canada. So for you Canadians out there, I don't know if you know World War II at all, but I don't know how Austria, if you remember how Austria just got, they just strolled right in, right? So just think of it that way as well, because even if it was a Great Depression, I was looking at images yesterday from the Great Depression of 1929, and what it looked like in the States and what it looked like in Canada. They looked the same when it came down to people starving, people lining up for food and all this stuff. So for you Canadians out there, just know that what happens in the United States is definitely going to happen here. So here's the things that they're going to be forcing down on us. There's forced vaccines, right? And then, of course, by the way, they ordered like 600 million vaccines when there's only 330 million people in the States, I think, or something like that. But so the other, I guess, he's ordered some for Canada too. So, but anyway, they're forcing new food systems because there's an attack on the farming industry right now. I don't know if you guys have been reading about this, but please do. Okay, they're forcing the tracking system. They've dropped in new iOS programs on our phones already. Whether you ask for it or not, whether you wanted to download it or not, it's in your phones, right? It actually just updated it, right? So it's systemic stripping of freedom. So whether it's being able to gather, being able to, to even have that privacy, because that's not really what that tracking system is. It's almost like having a mic everywhere. I wonder what that 5G thing is, because no one's talking about that right now, but a lot of people out there are thinking it's going to be harmful. So I think we should look into that as well, okay? Because they've pushed us to look away elsewhere, but the 5G is really what's coming in. So please, it's something that they're pushing, but don't want you looking that way, okay? Whenever people start swerving their thought that way, they give you something else to think about, okay? Like a separation program, like racism or something, okay? White people are not the bad people, by the way, okay? We're looking for real bad people, and they all have different colors. So, okay, so all the narratives that's going on right now through the media and everything else is leading to a full control of everything. Whether you're here in North America, you go to Europe, you go to Asia, everything China, they're controlled. China has been doing this for years, though. They're already communistic, so which means they can impose anything they want to, anytime, any place. Okay, that's what that kind of government's all about. But we're not used to that yet. I say yet because you guys are starting to line up for all this shit without even knowing it. Unless, the truthers out there telling me, we make notes even now. Come on. I even made notes. Please look into it, right? So, so there's three key things, right? Because I want to create solutions too, but I'm thinking, what are the three key things for me to, survive, help out, help my family? Maybe I can pass it on to help other people as well. Well, pray to God first of all, okay? And God bless everyone. First key thing is mental health. It's always been mental health, okay? And then, these are the things you got to control your input. All of a sudden, input control. That means media control. That means what's coming into your system. All these things. So if it's bad things, replace it with something else. Okay, that's input control. Educate yourself, new skills, whatever it may be. Educate yourself with how you can to make yourself healthier. Educate yourself how to, because there's a lot of things a lot of people don't know about until they get there. Like coming out here and maybe building this shelter or something, right? So, but it's lasted. So, and it hasn't fallen down. Seek like-minded people right now, because if you have questions and you have a little bit, then look for people that are actually might be able to answer a couple of your questions as well. That's key thing, right? Especially if you have a little bit of apprehension of what's going on. So new habits, definitely, whether it's the new food that you're eating, what time you wake up in the morning, maybe you're exercising and things like that, right? So it's a new lifestyle. So, and then of course relationship with God. Whether it's your creator, everybody worship different things there, but at the same time we have to get back to our own spirituality, because we've been feeding into the beast system for so long that we've forgotten ourselves. We've become like actors. We go to work, we put on a face there, we go home, we have a face here. Because when you get home sometimes you're expected to be something, because the TV has told the person that's at home already that you're supposed to be in a particular way. But that's a program that's coming in, because you might not be that person that's coming in. That's what's been told the person that you're about to go home to. So these are confusing times for everyone. Okay, so whether you're coming out to the world or you're staying home, they can get you either way. So, and then of course, before you get to the next process, you have to decide. Okay, because if you don't like all this what's coming in, the forced vaccines, the forced food, and all that stuff, are you thinking of getting out of the wall? Because this is like Mockingbird, Hunger Games at this point. Are you going to live inside their wall and take everything they're forcing down your throat, like an ID chip or some sort, to be able to function? Or are you going to live outside the wall and be hunted down because you're not living, or you're just trying to starve you out, period? Okay, everything that you do out there. So, but if you have skills, you probably will not starve. So some people, if you're living in the city, they were gonna bug in, okay, and then of course you're gonna be learning how to secure your shelter and things like that. And then there's the people that are gonna be bugging out. These are decisions that we all have to make, right? So, and then the mental health has to be there first, though, because for you to have clarity in the decisions you make, you have to be clear there first. So, and then now you have to improve your resources. That's the second thing, okay? And then of course, the new improving your resources again is like your new skills that you're probably developing now, or you've been developing for years. That's really important. Okay, so the more skills you can add, the more resources you can draw upon, from yourself, right? Like primitive building stuff, whatever it may be, like revisiting old techniques for preserving food, whatever it may be, growing food. Okay, and then of course learn wild foods as well. So you got to know what you can eat out here, guys. Okay, it's really important. Okay, so buying supplies was still there, because I've been warning about food shortages, but as as soon as another thing hits and they're thinking about a second wave, people are going to start going to the stores again for something else. But be smart, think of things that will last a while too. That's what what it's all about. Okay, so, and then of course if you're bugging out, then of course you can only carry so much, unless of course you got a location you're going to already. Okay, so what else here? Learn how to protect your family, yourself. Okay, so that's training now. That means coming out a little bit, getting healthier, not just sitting at home crunching numbers and stuff. There's got to be time where you got to put into the body as well, right? Because if you don't do that, then it actually works together. Because if you're not strong down here, then the brain, for some reason, is not getting the oxygen it needs as well to think. So they both, you can't have one without the other if you're going to be surviving whatever the new system that are coming in. But we're calling it the beast system because that's what the Bible says. It's that's what we call. That's what Satan is, the Lucifer system, right? So improve your physical endurance, and that'll improve your brain endurance as well. Okay, so building a community is another resource as well. So your neighbors around you, your like-minded people that I mentioned earlier, and all these things, right? So know how to use the land. Again, knowing what to eat out here, knowing how to use the wood, which wood can produce certain types of materials for you and things like that, because there are different types of wood that are better for roofing. There's types of wood that you can use their bark for all sorts of stuff, like the coniferous trees. You can use them for natural glue for building arrows and stuff, with the hazel tree and stuff like that as well. So in combination with all these things, you can build all sorts of different things. So you have to know the land. Okay, you have to know how to till the earth as well. So that's part of knowing the land. So and you also have to get to know the patterns of the weather. Okay, just because once you get back out here again, and I'm thinking we might be, some of us, because I'm not going to be living inside the wall. That's documenting again when the crop season is and things like that. These are patterns that we need to redocument again if you don't know it for yourself. So the last thing I wrote down was actually probably the most important thing. Above all, I wrote down, even if you just escape with just your simple knife, okay, this is actually your biggest resource. Okay, so as long as you got your wits about you, your brain, your knowledge and stuff, all you need is that knife. Okay, you're not gonna panic. You might be able to you can build things with that knife. You can start with that, because all the resources up here. That's all I can say, guys. Okay, so monk style surviving. Hopefully that wasn't too long, but just take note though, because if guys like me will take time to even just write things down, and just to maybe warn you a little bit, because to maybe look into a few things that's coming your way, whether it's the changing times. Because if all of a sudden, here's one last thing I'll say, because if they're changing the dollar, guys, for those people that have savings, 50,000, 100,000, $1,000,000 in your account, and it's all US dollar, it's all in the dollar form. If hyperinflation happens overnight and things like that, and you devalue the dollar, your $1,000,000 could turn into $10 in value. Okay, that's how that works. So a lot of people right now, a lot of the rich people right now, are actually like converting their monetary type of supply into different types, like whether it's the gold or silver, or they're going into the cryptocurrencies and stuff that's happening now. So just know that maybe the American empire is due. It's in its 14th generation, I think empires are doomed to fall, and the American currency has been added for a long time, and that's the economic pattern. That's the human pattern too, guys. That's what it means by knowing patterns as well too. But I just don't know them. There's people out there that I seek out, so I can learn these information as well, and I'm encouraging you guys to do the same. Okay, so hi Tulkas, I love you, buddy. God bless everyone. Don't mean to be so serious all the time. I'd love to be able to show you Vancouver, but it's nice to come back to my little trail here and find my shelter that I built still going. So it's a nice place to come to. I raised my couch a little bit too. So for all my buddies out there that are maybe chomping at the bits to get back to a hockey game or things like that. So well, hopefully we can get back to a normal, but that's not going to be the case, and I think you guys are smart to know that. So please adapt. Have a great day, guys, and enjoy yourself. please come out to a beautiful place. Have a great day, everyone.